This story has two twists in it, so stick with it. If you can see what's coming, do please put it in the comments and see if you're right. So in the year 2020, Jennifer and Jamie Faith had met, been married and moved into a suburban area of Dallas called Oak Cliff. It was known to be peaceful and neighbourly, and they were widely regarded as a perfect happy match. Jamie had a reputation for being fun and kind, and he'd always said he didn't want to settle, but then he'd met Jennifer and changed his mind. They'd been together for 15 years now. He'd adopted her daughter. He was a technology director at American Airlines, and she was a speech therapist. On October 9th, 2020, the couple left the house to walk their dog when a man appeared. He was dressed in black with a blue face mask, walked up to the couple and shot Jamie 9 times at point-blank range. He then started to duct tape Jennifer and steal her rings, but a neighbour who'd heard the murder came running out with his gun and the attacker fled. He said, "I walked to the end of my walkway and I saw what looked like a feet and a body lying in the street. But as soon as I started running that way, the killer appeared. He was in a mask and a hoodie. I didn't get a chance to see his face because I saw him with a gun in his hand and ran back into the house." Jennifer said to Fox 4 News, "It's been horrible, devastating. I teeter between completely heartbroken and completely devastated every day." Remember that. In an interview with the police, Jennifer explained her experience. "I turned around and I just saw this person shoot and shoot. I couldn't believe I didn't know him. Like, why?" she said, sobbing. "A lot of shots, 5, 6 maybe. I feel like," and he just kept going, and I'm like, "Stop it." And then I saw the person turn and like just dark eyes coming towards me. And so I yelled no, and I started to run, and he tackled me to the ground. He was trying to attack me the whole time I was screaming. Sadly, Jamie was already dead, lying on his driveway. Neighbours did what they could to support Jennifer, first as they waited for police to arrive, and then to help her cope with the aftermath. They were hugely supportive, even starting a wildly successful GoFundMe, taking turns making her meals and walking the dog. She was scared to go out. When Jennifer couldn't tell the police much beyond a man dressed in black, a neighbour was able to remember the black pickup the man fled in had a T sticker. Jennifer appeared on the news, asking people to look for the T sticker. It wasn't just Jennifer who was in shock. Nothing like this had happened in the area, and no one had any idea who would want to execute Jamie in broad daylight. They formed a group chat, and Jennifer introduced a friend to it, a military veteran who said that the perpetrator was probably also a vet, as he'd clearly been trained to empty the clip. The community felt the police investigation was going nowhere, but behind the scenes the police had made great progress, and they announced they had made an arrest. But while the arrested man, Darren Lopez, had the black truck with the recently removed T sticker, he lived in Tennessee, thousands of miles away, and he was arrested in that state and had to be brought back to Dallas. The neighbours could not understand why a man from Tennessee would travel all that way just to kill the completely innocent Jamie. Well, the police had not been sitting about. They had followed a trail. They had worked out that Darren, a former Green Bay medic, had been honourably discharged from the army after being injured in an explosion in Iraq. 19 soldiers in and around the vehicle he'd been in were killed, and Darren had damage to his eyes and brain as well as PTSD. He was struggling and had split from his wife. He decided to go back to the life he had before he joined the army. Specifically, he wanted to speak to his high school girlfriend, who had lost touch with when joining the army. He contacted her on social media, told her he wished his life had been different with her, and she replied. And here's twist 1. It was Jennifer. Turned out that Jennifer was not in fact in a happy marriage, and sent Darren contact details. They talked long and frequently, their exchanges becoming intimate and then outright sexual. They talked for months about the sex fantasies they had, including BDSM, but Darren was reluctant to go further and break up the marriage. Then Jennifer tells Darren why she's unhappy. Jamie is a domestic abuser, mistreating her emotionally and physically. Darren is livid, and their contact turns into an exchange of over 500 messages a day. Jennifer begins to call this an affair to a friend. Then Darren starts getting messages from Jamie. Jamie has discovered what's going on and tells Darren to stop. The latter won't abandon Jennifer to an abuser, so Jamie escalates things, sending him photos of Jennifer having been punished for the affair, covered in cuts and bruises, beaten and raped. Darren urges her to go to the police, but she says she can't do that to her daughter, and the police wouldn't believe her anyway. Darren said she told me that she would say nothing's happened. She would deny everything to the police. She used to say to Darren the only way out would be if Jamie were killed. Then Jamie tells Darren he had Jennifer gang raped as a punishment and is going to drown her. Darren snaps, gets in his truck, drives thousands of miles, waits 5 hours outside the house, and as soon as Jamie comes out, he executes him. Jennifer is, of course, thrilled by this. The GoFundMe has raised $60,000 and she is expecting a $629,000 life insurance payout when the police finish their investigation. So she starts sending some of it to Darren. Gift cards, presents, credit cards paid for by the charity account. Treat yourself. One of her emails says, here's both of my major credit cards. Amex has no limit, and I think the Visa has like $35,000 limit. I pay them both off every month, so you never need to worry about them being declined. She calls the police to complain they haven't cleared her as a suspect yet, and she can't get the life insurance. Then she invites Darren into the chat group. Here's the vet who has been suggesting another vet did it. But the police are searching. When the police were searching who could have killed Jamie, Jennifer deletes everything about him from her phone to protect him, because the police decide to take a look at her phone. She also tells Darren to take the T sticker off. We have a text exchange on record saying, I woke up in a bit of a panic. Something is eating away at me, telling me you need to take the sticker out of the back window of the truck. I don't normally overreact like this, but you need to take that sticker off ASAP. When it was done, she replied, oh yay. Unfortunately for Jennifer and Darren, she did not delete the text to a friend saying she is having an affair. This is what the police first find, and this is how the police trace Darren. She finds his address is still in the phone, find out the whole thing. They find the van, access his bank and cell records, trace him back to Texas, and then trace his journey on multiple CCTV cameras across the country. They arrest him on January the 11th, 2021, and although Jennifer had told him to wipe his phone of all their planning and contacts and exchanges, he hasn't. And so the whole thing is an open and shut case recorded on his phone, and he has the murder weapon. But it wasn't. It wasn't at all. And here's twist 2. Because although Darren did kill Jamie, Darren is now completely surprised by something else the police find. You see, Jamie hadn't beaten and raped Jennifer. He hadn't even known about the affair. He had never abused her in any way. Jennifer had faked the entire thing to Darren to get him to kill Jamie. She would fake the photos of the injuries, or she would just download and send images from the internet. It was her sending Jamie's messages telling Darren, when he pleaded with her to go to the police, that it wouldn't work. She would only be free if Jamie were dead. She lied to manoeuvre Darren into a situation where he felt he had no choice but to kill Jamie. Asked by prosecutors how he felt killing Jamie, Darren replied, I mean, it wasn't like on a mission in the military, but I was on the same type of mindset with it. I was doing what I had to do to protect Jennifer. He also said, at the time I was thinking I was a noble soldier that did my job. I did what I was trained to do. I protected people. I kept them from a monster. Jennifer was arrested and charged with murder. At first she denied it and tried to keep up the charade, even sending a message to Darren saying, just a quick note to say I never lied to you. I never sent the emails from any account but mine. There was a ton of more I wish I could say, but I can't now. She also tries to get a third party to pass another message to Darren, basically saying she will always be his. Unfortunately, it takes Darren's lawyers 6 months to actually make him believe what Jennifer has done to them all. He is devastated and sick with remorse and guilt for what he'd done. Jennifer Faith was charged with murder for hire, took a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, and was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. She also had to pay Jamie's funeral expenses and a $250,000 fine. GoFundMe offered full refunds to anyone who donated. Darren pled not guilty, testifying that he believed he was saving Jennifer from awful abuse and felt agony over killing an innocent man. Nevertheless, he was convicted of murder and given 62 years. He is appealing to the Texas governor to shorten his sentence, claiming once he knew he fully cooperated. However, during the arrest and trial, the prosecutors were clear. Evidence shows Mr. Lopez took no logical steps to confirm the abuse or to otherwise secure Jennifer's Faith's safety. Assistant U.S. Attorney Rick Calvert said there were other avenues Darren could take, despite driving across multiple states and murdering someone in cold blood, but that's the option he chose. And for a while, that's where it ended, a tragic story of betrayal. But then a bit later, CBS News' 48 Hours was creating a documentary on the case, and they discovered something terrifying. This wasn't the first time Jennifer had tried to get a man to kill her husband. In this case, 48 Hours found that when Jennifer was married to Rick Erlab, she tried to push him into killing her now ex-first husband. Rick was interviewed saying, "She did exactly the same thing to me. She's the most evil person I come into contact with." She told him a story of how she'd been mentally, physically, emotionally and sexually abused, and wound him up and up and up until he wanted to kill that husband. When Rick didn't do it, Jennifer lost her patience and moved on. And that is the betrayal of Jamie Faith.